These are the timeless men who made Hollywood great.
I had a great time.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 ultimate decade-defining actors.
Because I think we ought to get to the bottom of that.
For our series on the top 10 decade-defining male actors per period, we've made our choices based on a combination of their commercial success, their box office scores, their productivity, their awards, and how they helped set the tone and raise the standard in Hollywood for the era in which they excelled.
Let's talk a little business.
Number 10, John Wayne.
Hello, Burdette. Been expecting you.
An all-out icon, John Wayne reigned supreme for many a decade, but in the 50s, he produced some of his most notable work.
Thank you.
He starred in 142 movies throughout his career, most of them westerns, and set the archetype for masculinity at the time.
You get it, Reverend. Come on, blanket head.
The Quiet Man, The High and the Mighty, The Searchers, and Rio Bravo were particular successes.
Sir, will you join me? Matter of fact, I'd like to buy everybody a drink.
He was undeniably typecast, but he was also undeniably good at what he did. Wayne exuded charisma, and cinema-goers just couldn't get enough.
But I'm giving the orders here. I'm giving the orders. And you'll follow them, or we're splitting up right here and now.
Number 9, James Stewart.
I can promise you one thing. I'll do nothing to disgrace the office of United States Senator.
In a decade when Humphrey Bogart and Orson Welles were also influential, Jimmy Stewart stole the show. During the 1940s, while he was also dedicating time to World War II military service, Stewart's roles as the average aspiring American resonated with and gave encouragement to just about everyone.
Dost thou have a washroom? Thank thee.
His natural style won him an Oscar for The Philadelphia Story, having been previously nominated for Frank Capra's Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. However, he found everlasting fame as George Bailey in It's a Wonderful Life, a captivating performance in a Christmas classic. His was the highest standard during one of Hollywood's highest points.
This is where Cinderella gets off. Now you hurry back to the ball before you turn into a pumpkin and 6 white mice. Goodbye.
Number 8, Tom Cruise.
Just take those old records off the shelf. I said listen to them by myself. Today's music ain't got the same soul. I like that old time rock and roll.
Risky Business is thought of as his breakthrough movie, and it ensured that working with Tom Cruise would be anything but risky from then on.
All right! All right!
A stellar name in cinema for over 3 decades now, the impact he had in his first 10 years was unrivaled. With Top Gun, he flew further up the acting ladder, and with Born on the 4th of July, he picked up his first major award, a Golden Globe for Best Actor.
We are here to say, we are here to tell the truth. They are killing our brothers in Vietnam. We want them to hear the truth tonight.
Setting the standard for a glittering career, Cruise controlled Hollywood in the 80s, and that's why he makes our list.
Go fight! Go kill! Sergeant man, rank car! Yeah, car left! Car left! Car left! You know, it's all a lie, look. Watch out. Lights!
You wanted a hostage, I brought one out for you.
You gonna deal with us or not?
I told you I gave you one, right?
You
So
did,
what are you
but
telling
you
me?
should have picked up the phone.
Number 7, Al Pacino.
Attica! Attica! Attica!
This guy's career is particularly hard to nail down to 1 decade, but largely for his part in the Godfather series, he was a huge star of the 70s.
He said I have a guarantee. No more attempts on my father's life.
He played mobster Michael Corleone in Francis Ford Coppola's iconic gangster film and was nominated for a Best Supporting Actor Oscar.
Don't ask me about my business.
No.
He boycotted the ceremony, though, believing his role to be lead actor material.
Well, that's crap, and you know it.
Ironically, he went on to be nominated for the desired award 4 times during the decade, including 1 nomination for The Godfather Part 2.
In my home! In my bedroom where my wife sleeps!
where my children come and play with their toys.
All right, Marshal, what do you say I done?
Number 6. Clint Eastwood.
You don't remember me, do you? No. When you hang a man, you better look at him.
The spaghetti western, so called because of the Italian directors behind them, is an iconic film genre of the 60s, and one in which Clint Eastwood ruled.
See, that's what I want to talk to you about.
As the man with no name, he portrayed one of the most convincing anti-heroes ever captured on film.
You see, in this world, there's two kinds of people, my friend. Those with loaded guns, and those who dig. You dig.
The part was supposedly offered to Eric Fleming, Eastwood's co-star in the TV Western drama Rawhide. He turned it down, and Eastwood went on to own it. Forever after, his name would be synonymous with the Wild, Wild West.
No thanks. I'll be moving on.
I'm a police officer.
Number 5. Sidney Poitiers. When trying to achieve success early on in his acting career, Sidney Poitiers struggled because he was tone deaf. He couldn't meet the expectation of black performers at the time because he couldn't sing.
Now, that's not exactly what I had in mind, but you get the idea.
But years of dedication were finally followed with acceptance and excellence. In '63, he became the first black man to receive the Academy Award for Best Actor for Lilies of the Field.
Her skin is white. My skin is black.
The commercial peak of his career didn't come for a further 4 years, however, when Guess Who's Coming to Dinner became an instant classic, cementing his spot as a 60s-era mainstay.
I can explain.
I can imagine what's going on in your mind.
But we can explain.
Number 4. Jack Nicholson.
How'd you get past the guard? Well, to tell you the truth, I lied a little.
Like other actors on our list, it's hard to confine Nicholson's excellence to one time period. After all, he's had such an illustrious career.
I hear you.
But Oscar nominations for his roles in The Last Detail and Chinatown, as well as the first of 3 wins for One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, make the 1970s a particular success.
Jesus Christ.
As Randall McMurphy, he plays a forcibly repressed man who tries to break out. And as an actor, Jack Nicholson sure breaks the mold.
Yeah, I know, but you think we might ease it down a little bit so maybe the boys didn't have to shout? Huh?
Duffy! Well, where is Duffy?
Number 3. Cary Grant.
Sure, there'll be naming streets after you. Hildy Johnson Street. There'll be statues of you in the parks. The movies will be after you. The radio. By tomorrow morning, I'll bet you there's a Hildy Johnson cigar. You can see the billboards now. It says, light up with Hildy Johnson. Light up with Hildy.
Stop that acting.
Huh?
Grant spent the 30s as an official Englishman before obtaining American citizenship in 1942. Mae West is largely credited with giving this definitive leading man his breakthrough opposite her in She Done Him Wrong
Thanks.
and I'm No Angel.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't mind if I looked around.
Me jiu-jitsu.
The Awful Truth was a pivotal movie, though, as it established Grant as rom-com royalty.
Really, David, there's a time and place for everything. What would Professor Latouche think?
After all, my dear, you're getting married tomorrow.
After that, he paired up with the likes of Katharine Hepburn in Bringing Up Baby and Rosalind Russell in His Girl Friday. Grant is a legend of laughter and a legend of love.
They always seem so cold to me. They have no warmth, no soul. I'm sorry you think more of your diamonds than you do of your soul.
Number 2. Robert De Niro.
Ah sì, ma io e solo, ne oggi siamo 3. E io è armato e oggi siamo armati.
He's as A-list as they come, and the 70s were his era, though he's had non-stop success ever since. De Niro found fame within a partnership he formed in the early 70s with director Martin Scorsese, beginning with Mean Streets and Taxi Driver.
You talking to me?
By 77, everyone was talking to him, or at least about him. And a role as Michael Vronsky in the Vietnam War movie The Deer Hunter further established his reputation.
Either you gotta do it. You don't do it, they're gonna throw you in a pit. They throw you in a pit, you're gonna die.
Of course, he also managed the small feat of playing the Oscar-winning part of Vito Corleone in The Godfather Part 2. What a man.
Lasciati fare a me. I take everything. Io ho risetto tutti cosi. E ho menzioni e non ne dico mai alla amici miei.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Out of all men that beg for a chance to drill your lots, maybe 1 in 20 will be oil men. The rest will be speculators. That's men trying to get between you and the oil men to get some of the money that ought by rights come to you.
Quiet down, people. My name is Mr. Abagnale. That's Abagnale, not Abagnale, not Abagnale, but Abagnale.
If that plane leaves the ground and you're not with him, you'll regret it. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon and for the rest of your life.
Behold his mighty hand!
The war, you saved my life.
Me?
Strange. And I always thought of you as an Aryan.
I'm a vegetarian.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
Number 1, Marlon Brando.
Hey, Stella!
Rock and roll was bursting through our radios, and our chart topper was personifying it on the movie screen.
You think you're too good for me. Nobody's too good for me. Anybody thinks they're too good for me, I make sure I knock them over sometime.
Marlon Brando was one of the coolest, trendiest, most desirable guys on the planet. He was also a fine actor, picking up an Oscar for his role in On the Waterfront. Brando also starred in A Streetcar Named Desire, Viva Zapata, Julius Caesar, and The Wild One, to name but a few.
They're asking me to put the finger on my own brother.
He had magnetism, masculinity, and an attitude that established him as the 50s male sex symbol, and as our number 1 decade definer.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum.
Do you agree with our list?
You can have my answer now if you like.
Which actor do you think is the most iconic? For more classic top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.